Hi everybody, it's Linda Vandermeer from the Bubble and Sweet blog, and today I'm going to show you how I made these super adorable unicorn cookies. Now, I'm not saying these are the most adorable unicorn cookies in the world, but they just might be. Super cute. So to make the unicorn cookie, what you need is a cookie shaped like a horse. I've made that the day before. You need some white fondant. I'm making mine with white fondant. If you don't like fondant covered cookies, you can also cover it in royal icing and then just continue on with the stage of decorating that I'm going to do with the coloured fondant once the royal icing's set. I've got fondant in various different pink colours, some ivory and some blue and black. I've got water and a brush. I've got the original cookie cutter I used. A cake tool with just a little sharp edge there, a knife, a plastic rolling pin, a pizza cutter, a little bendy piece of cardboard. I've got this little unicorn horn that I made up the day before. I'll show you how to make that out of the ivory fondant. Some sugar flowers. I've got a YouTube tutorial on how to make these up. These are super easy to make. Another brush, some gold edible paint, and some corn flour or cornstarch. Okay, so we're going to start off by covering the cookie. Now, as I said, if you like, you can actually cover the cookie with royal icing. I prefer fondant, some people prefer royal icing, so I'm going to do what I like. You guys do what you like. So you just need to knead the fondant a little bit. I just bought this fondant from the shop. You can also make your own or make it a marshmallow fondant. My kids like the taste of the marshmallow fondant better than this one. But they really don't mind this one either. Okay, use a little rolling pin to roll out your white fondant. Need a really big piece for this cookie because it's a bigger cookie than I normally make. And you want to roll it pretty thin. Okay, see that's pretty thin there. Now I'm just taking my cookie cutter and pressing it in. Just remove all the excess white fondant. Just brush the cookie with a little bit of water. Okay, now you can just take the fondant and pop it onto the top. This one's a little bit difficult than most fondant covered cookies because there's lots of little bits you have to even up. Make sure you use a good cookie recipe. I've got one here on YouTube. It doesn't spread very much, so when you put the fondant on top, it's going to be pretty much the same shape. If you use one that spreads too much, you're going to have to push the edges out a bit when you're at this stage. Okay, so I'm just going to use this tool here to even up any bits here. Now I'm just going to add some detail on the mane and the tail. So I'm just going to use the pink fondant. I'll start with the darker colour. Use the pizza cutter. And make a few strips. You don't have to be too even with this. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to make some twirly tail pieces here. Just like that. So what I do is I get the strip of fondant and I just twist it around and pop it onto the tail like that. And just up the top here, I'm just going to press it down so it stays secure. Now sometimes when I do these cookies I actually do the base in a darker colour, just this bit here, so that you don't need to put as much fondant on. Whatever makes you happy. If you go to my blog, I've actually got a tutorial which shows just replacing this little tail bit with the darker fondant underneath. Okay, so that's the darker one. We'll just continue on. Once again, just use the pizza cutter to cut the strips. If you need to, just add a little bit more water. You can pop them in underneath if you don't want to go all the way up to the top. It looks just as good. Okay, and you're going to want to finish off there just with one of these little flowers. It just hides any of the messy bits that you've got there. I just added a little bit of water and popped the flower on there. So that's the tail done. We'll just continue on and do the mane here. You can do 3 colours pink there, that's what I normally do. I'm just trying to rush a bit for the video. Oh, before the cookie sets too much, you just want to add some definition as well. So I'm just going to get this tool here and draw a little mouth and nose. I usually just do it that way, whatever makes the most sense for you. Okay, so just add more of this detail here. Don't do what I'm doing. Your fondant dries out if you leave it out. So I usually just work with the one colour at a time. So I would have done all the dark and then all the lighter colours. And my fondant wouldn't be as dried out as it is now, and it would be a bit easier to work with. Just add it in wherever you think you need. Needs a bit of that's a little bit thick, so I can just trim it. So this is the one that I've made before. You can see if you take a bit more care, the twirls are going to look a little bit better. I'm just brushing a little bit here. Now you want one of these unicorn horns, make that the day before. Just roll out some fondant into some long thin logs and just twist it around like this. And just pop it on some parchment paper to dry. Okay, so you can use some royal icing to stick this on, or just a bit of water like I've got. So just pop it in place there. Now, I just use this little bit of cardboard here just to keep it in place while it was drying. And then just added a flower on top of it, just to hide any of those messy bits there. Okay, now if you want an eye, you can either just draw on an eye like this, which is super easy, or you can make an eye with some fondant. Just pop a little bit of black down the bottom, press it out. A little bit of white on top. Another little bit of blue. And then just some black there. So you can do the eye whichever way you want, whatever's easiest. And then you might just want to add some hooves in. I just use the same cutter again. You can do them gold or pink, whatever makes you happy. Confused. Spinner. Okay, like I said, if you go to the blog, there's some detailed explanations there on how to do it. There's picture tutorials as well. And now finally all you need to do is just have, my hands are a bit sticky and I can't open the gold paint. Oh well, just pretend. You just dip the gold paint in and you just brush it on there and you'll end up with a gold unicorn horn. Okay, thanks very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. See ya.